Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to share with you my recipe for my lemon blueberry scones. Now, I've showed a few different scone recipes here, but since fall is right around the corner, you can expect to see a few more scone recipes. Definitely a pumpkin scone coming soon. This one's really easy and basic. The base recipe for my scone is just the same as everything else. We're just adding a couple ingredients to it, and let's go over them so we can get started. Only all-purpose flour, granulated sugar, baking powder, baking soda, salt, some cold butter, eggs, and lemon, heavy cream, raw sugar, some egg wash, which is just one egg with a little bit of milk, additional flour, some vanilla paste, and these are blueberry-infused cranberries. Now, basically what these are is dried cranberries that have been infused with blueberry juice, and they taste exactly like blueberries. Now, the reason why I'm using these instead of dried blueberries is because in my local supermarket, I cannot ever find dried blueberries, and I usually have to order mine online, which anytime a recipe calls for dried blueberries, these are what I use because they honestly taste exactly the same, which nobody ever notices a difference. So, you know what, if you can find dried blueberries in your local grocery store, great. If not, go ahead and use those because they work just as well. The first thing I'm going to do is get my oven preheated to 400, and I've already got that done. I've got a large baking sheet with some parchment paper. We have that ready. I'm making this in my mixer. Let's get rolling. Now, I'm going to add all of my dry ingredients to the bowl of my mixer. And I'm just going to lift this up and just mix the dry ingredients together. You can do it with a spoon, but just mix it for just a second, just to combine the sugar and the salt and all that. I'm going to add my cold butter. You want to make sure it's cold because this is what's going to give you that delicious, flaky texture that you're looking for. And you're just going to mix this enough until the butter is, evenly distributed throughout the dry ingredients, like there's a little rubbles. That's what you're looking for. That's what's going to give you those layers of delicious flakiness that makes a scone as good as it is. While that's going, I'm just going to use this bowl. I'm going to add my lemon, heavy cream, actually not my lemon, my egg, my heavy cream, and the zest of an entire lemon. This is what's going to give you fantastic flavor. It's going to brighten up that dough like you would not believe. And it just goes so well with the blueberries. And if you can get your hands on a Meyer lemon, which is kind of a toss between a tangerine and a lemon, use that because that's fantastic. But again, my local market doesn't have them often, so I just opt for a regular lemon. And then I'm going to add a touch of vanilla paste. That's almost done. And mix those together. Just whisk it with a fork, and we'll add them to the dry ingredients. That's going to come together really beautifully in no time. We get it all out of here. That looks good. I'm going to add in my blueberries. Mix those in. I've also floured my board. This is going to take just a second. I want the blueberries to get mixed, but that's good enough. I don't want to mix that dough too much because I don't want my scones to be hard and tough. I want them to be really, really light and flaky. So I'll get it all off, and then we'll kind of mix it with our hands just for a second. Just mix things around with your hands really quickly. You don't want you don't want the warmth of your hands to touch the dough too much, otherwise it's going to warm up that butter and it won't be super flaky. I'm just going to pat this down to about 3/4 of an inch thick. And I'm using a biscuit cutter today to cut my scones because in my previous scone recipes, I always cut them in triangles, but people would say, hey, where I come from, we know scones because they're round. So biscuit cutter, and I'm just going to cut them out. We aim to please around here, so some square, some round. Doesn't matter, it's going to be delightful. I put that right on my baking sheet. Just keep dipping your cutter into flour so that it doesn't stick to the dough. And then once you've got them all cut out, regroup all of the edges of your dough, and then just keep cutting more out until you're eventually running right out of dough. Using like the last tiny bit of the dough, 'cause I don't want to waste anything. Make a little tiny baby one. That would be looking the same as these, but you know what? It tastes delicious. Anyways, this is what you're gonna get. I'm gonna take my egg and milk or cream or water, whatever you're using. Just gonna whisk that together. This is what's gonna give our scones really beautiful color, which is important, and really kind of give them a nice texture on the very top as well. And then of course, by the way, don't you love how this guy right here is like exploding with blueberries? I don't think I'm gonna have to ask you which one I'm eating. That's got my name written all over it. Now, like always, with my my scone recipes, I'm so excited today to get these in the oven because my husband's been requesting scones for a long time that I can't hardly speak properly. I'm gonna top them with some raw sugar for crunch. Put as much or as little as you want. All right, these are gonna go into the oven for about 18 to 20 minutes or until they're puffed up, golden brown, delicious. Let them cool completely, and then it's time to dig in. My scones baked for about 18 minutes, and I let them cool completely. As you can see, they're beautiful golden brown, and I wanna show you this one because look how puffed up it's gotten. I'm telling you, the cold butter is key to that. If that's what you want, you're gonna follow this recipe, and there's few little key steps. They're amazing. I mean, look at that. It's buttery, it's sweet, it's lemony, it's out of this world. Head on over to laurainthekitchen.com. Leave requests down below for the next scones you want to see. I hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.